Oh man, it's that time again. Let's do this. Let's get things started. We're here. Hey there, friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be in your part of the world.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
It is so good to see you. My name is Jeff Fritz, and today is October 2nd. 2025. And we're going to write a little bit of code today. And it's the beginning of Ubuntober. For those of you who don't know,
the analysis is complete.
Is it?
Haddonfield hat has been identified with high confidence.
Good. I hope so. I don't have the text up on the Charlie text up on this display. We'll get to that. So, where was I? It's the start of Ubuntober. Yeah. Right? Have I updated my layout? No, I have not. Well, Charlie's here, but that's completely different. How you doing there, Patty boy? So, Ubuntober is a month that I invented, where we celebrate Ubuntu Linux and .NET. Now, it could be some other flavor of Linux. It could be Arch. It could be Red Hat, Fedora. It could be whatever it might be. But I like Ubuntu, so that's the flavor of Linux that I like to use. Let me get some music playing in the background here. We'll go and talk to chat for a little bit, and then we will dive in. Excuse me. We will dive into a little bit of working with TagZap, and importantly, Aspire on Ubuntu Linux. Let me start down here. This is called Slow Burn. This is music that's DMCA free. It's royalty free. Use it wherever you'd like. Big thanks to Harris Heller and his team of creators for this music we're listening to today. Come on, give me a little more heat there. All right, there we go. Let me catch up with you out there, chat room. We're broadcasting live on Twitch and YouTube. Yeah, so we got the Haddonfield hat on there. Now, this is kind of tricky. I'm juggling 2 keyboards, 2 mice here because I'm working on 2 machines. We'll see how this goes. C# Titan.
I know I've made some very poor decisions recently, but I can give you my complete assurance that my work will be back to normal.
Good. I'm glad we agree on that. Yeah. And already this is going to be a treat. I can tell already. Yeah. Oh, are you kidding? There we go. I need to reset my no. I need to reset my screensaver timeout on the Linux machine because it just locked up and my Bluetooth keyboard wasn't able to get anything, wasn't able to interact. Where is that screen lock? Yeah, screen, right? They call it Screen locking. There we go. And nope, not 15 minutes. We need longer than that. Also, I'm not used to this tiny keyboard. PowerShell Freak. 5 gift subs into the channel. Thank you so much. That is very kind. Supporting the channel here, kicking off October right. Thank you so much for that support. Congratulations. Is it Vedora Cox, Anavios, BR Duke, Marinet Grand, and wow, Ignosipu? Wow. Thank you so much for that support. We're already on to a level 2 of the hype train we're trying to get. Awesome. Thank you so much. So let me continue reading here. C# Titan in a private hospital bed. Oh my gosh. All the best to you. That's I know you mentioned you were headed to hospital, but thank you so much for tuning in from there. We'll be thinking of you, praying for you. Get well soon there, my friend. That's right, Lucy. Ubuntober, and as an Ubuntu advocate, you approve. Wait do you see what we do next. All Ubuntu Linux on stream we're going to be coding with all month long. It should be a lot of fun. TMKDK, how you doing there? How's it going, Lucy? I forgot to even say how's it going, Lucy. Great to see you. Jay is watching from Manchester. How you doing over there on YouTube, Jay? President Not Sure, good morning to you. Patty Boy's watching from Glasgow. UNESCO with the 36-month resub. Thank you so much bringing that Twitch Prime subscription. Much appreciate. 3 years with us. That is awesome. You can't recall me using the current view. Oh no, I've got a couple of these. Surly Dev is here. Dapper, how's it going there? Ravnos, how's it going there? I'm doing all right. I did add 7 new characters and more than 150 quotes to Charlie. So that's a thing. I'm not going to tell you who the characters are, but there are 7 new characters in the hopper with quotes for Charlie that you can discover and play with over there. Svekos, good afternoon to you. Good to see me. Thank you, Dapper. Great to see you tuning in as well. Really appreciate it. All the well wishes to you, C# Titan. Nope. No, we not doing any politicking there. That one's not there. The quotes that you'll see from Charlie are typically science fiction characters, and that may give a little bit of a hint as to some of the characters that you're going to find there, because in reviewing the quotes that it did generate, there's some good ones. There's some really good ones in there. Let me just take a quick peek.
DEFCON 1. Fritz has pushed directly to main branch.
No, I haven't.
All systems on high alert.
No,
Shall we play a game of rollback?
No. Right, so yes, right, 1 2 3 4 5 6, 7 new characters. I can tell you one of the characters is from a movie that we already have another set of quotes from, not Judge Dredd. Nope. And we've got our first character from an epic series that has spanned decades. So, and another character from a European series that has spanned more than 50 years. That should completely give you that one. And I think you're really going to appreciate the quotes that come off of that, because I tried to get, Shut up now, Fritz. You're giving too much away. Let me see. The map sounds like it's starting to populate over there. Yes, look at that already. Fantastic. I'm not going to zoom in on the map just yet. Patty Boy's correct, but that's not the character's name. There's an article in front of that. So thank you so much for the level 1 hype train. Really appreciate that. Let me see. The overlap of programming and TTRPGs really surprises you all the time. You heard characters and immediately thought, oh, for what game system? No. No. There you go, Patty Boy, but why didn't we get anything? That should have picked up. Stand by. I thought I had that picking up. Because that's one of the new ones. Hang on. I thought it... Oh. We're going to have to restart this. Let's do... No, hang on. I don't want to give these all away there. Juarez Dev. Thank you so much.
For 6 months.
Very much appreciate that. That's... one second here. Let me get that restarted. Well, we're getting there. Doctor, the modern Doctor, right? I don't want to go back into the 80s and earlier. So, yeah, there it goes. And I need to refactor this section because it's just awful. It's bad. This bit of code. So we're going to be using Ubuntu Linux. I want to show you how Aspire works fantastic on Ubuntu. We're going to be coding with TagsApp and doing... Oh, wow. I wasn't expecting that, but that works too. Okay. Yes. Really gonna try... I don't think that's gonna build. Maybe it will. Yep. That worked. Fantastic. Keep those changes. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to restart the bot. And we'll get that. So, yeah, Linux using .NET everywhere is phenomenal. Dapper with the sub. Thank you so much. Appreciate you bringing that Prime subscription. Thank you, thank you. There we go. That should have restarted. Try that. Right. Really? Like, I just restarted you. You should...
Developers,
oh.
Developers.
1 second, I did that wrong. So there's still a very common misconception that .NET only works on Windows. We're going to continue to break through that today. There we go. Now, try that. There you go. And I've got to refresh some of these. That should work now. All right. And I'll show you another one of these. Yeah, you're never going to get this one, so I'll give this one away. There you go. There we go. So that's right. Don't blink. So there are Wheatley quotes. There are the Doctor quotes. There are 5 other characters out there that I will let you discover that are now part of Charlie's quote system for taunting, for having some fun, and it will start reading them, as they come along. So, right, where did it go? I'll kill that one. Nope.
Brilliant. Oh wait, no, sorry. That's the opposite. Your code is the opposite of brilliant. What's the opposite of brilliant?
Thanks.
I'm going to have to science the heck out of this problem, Fritz. Unlike you, I actually understand what science means.
Yes.
Cake will follow.
Oh, there we go. So, there's a C# Titan with a question here while that's going on. Just appearing there. Am I getting the Republic of Gamers Ally X Xbox? No. Nope. I'm not that into Xbox that I'm ready to go out and spend that kind of money on an Xbox. So I'm gonna pass on that. I appreciate what they're doing, but no. I did buy a is it GPD mini laptop, 8-inch laptop. So that I've got a nice little laptop that runs Windows, so I can do some .NET coding in smaller spaces. So on the train, on a plane, I'm looking forward to using that a little bit more. I've got that set up. Nope, no Star Trek quotes. Did not include Star Trek in that. So let me see here. Lundo Spark has been using Aspire between Windows and Linux so seamlessly that Lundo Spark forgot that people didn't realize it was a thing. Right. That's definitely a problem that we as a community need to deal with. P. Monterazzo, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you joining us here. Yes, how about a nice game of chess? So, yep, the trigger for quotes from the Doctor, and it's not exact quotes, but they're flavored quotes that taunt me. It's the Doctor, and you'll get that. Nope, no Star Trek. Napalm, how you doing there? It was a sad Saturday. In American football, and our Penn State Nittany Lions got lost on last Saturday. It was a huge game, massive, and there's something with the offense of this team where they don't get aggressive early enough in a game. They start playing conservative, and they let their opponents build up a lead. Just terrible to watch. And then because the game ended in overtime, I have parking in lot 11. So at Penn State, what they do, they have to figure out where to put about 50,000 cars. They don't have parking lot space for 50,000 cars. So what they do is they turn a bunch of the fields into parking. Lot 11, where I park, is behind the Law Building and the Art Museum. It's not a bad walk from the stadium, okay? It's not a bad walk. However, it's also the furthest lot on the one main drag, on the one main road coming away from the stadium. So here's the deal. The lots that are closer to the stadium, the traffic police let them out first and us out last. So that game ended at about 11:30 at night, and we sat in that parking lot and couldn't move for 2 hours. We finally got on the road at 2:30 at night. Yeah, that was quite the evening, let me tell you. C# and F# on your Steam Deck works well. Yes, Steam Deck is fantastic for coding with. Absolutely. Not Obi-Wan Kenobi, but you have the right series. Obi-Wan doesn't have quotes that are quite taunting or exciting. There's some other ones there. We do have Emperor quotes, but there's somebody else in there that's a little bit more fun. Have I seen the C# F# IDE that Frank Krueger wrote for iOS? I have seen that. Very cool. Indeed. Hello, McNets. How you doing there? No Yoda. He's a little bit shinier than Yoda. Ooh, that's a good guess, but no. No, not Jar Jar. Let me tell you.
Did you hear that?
No.
The compiler is making the most peculiar sound. I do believe it's crying.
That's right. We have C3PO quotes. So we've got the Doctor, Wheatley, C3PO. There are 4 more out there. Let me make sure I'm going to push the list over here somewhere else so that I can have it in front of me while we're looking at and working with.
Your progress through this debugging session has been impressive.
No, it hasn't. I haven't done anything yet.
I mean terrible, and by cake I mean lies.
Okay, well, thank you. A crying compiler, that would be good. There are ways to hook up sound effects to the compiler with .NET. That is a possibility. That can be done.
Look, Fritz, I can see you're really upset about this. I honestly think you ought to sit down calmly, take a stress pill, and think things over.
So there are 2 characters from Sci-Fi series that we don't have yet. And we've got one from Marvel. Patty Boy with the cheer.
Cheered 100. Wahoo.
Wahoo indeed. Isn't that what happens when John Skeet writes code that the compiler doesn't enjoy?
Incredible.
Yes.
You've managed to create a bug so profound it's almost philosophical. Almost.
Marvin the Paranoid Android, you now have 4. Nothing from Aliens. It was suggested to me to put quotes from Mother. Not Drax. No. All right, let me get things started while you continue playing with and having fun with that. What's that quote thing? So I added 7 new characters to our collection of quotes. We've identified 4 of them. C# Titan's on the right path. We've identified 4 of them. Wheatley, not that one, don't say that one. C3PO, the Doctor, and Marvin, the Paranoid Android.
I've prepared 3 contingency plans for when this deployment fails, sir. Would you like to review them now or shortly?
It's Jarvis. There's your 5th. No, I was also suggested to do some Futurama ones, and I don't like Futurama's not my bag. So there are 2 left. I will be surprised if you get one of these. One is from a series that I don't think you would quote. The other one is, from another series we've already got some quotes coming in from Mr. Anderson. So, That was one that I was thinking of. That was one I was really considering, but passed on it for now. Let me head over to the Linux machine. No. I have a Bluetooth keyboard hooked up to this. It's actually a keyboard intended for phones and tablets. So I've got a touchpad over here, and I've got a tiny keyboard here so that I can interact with this. Was I thinking Red Dwarf? No. That was one that was. I have a couple folks that have suggested to me. I never watched Red Dwarf. What's this you see? Yes, we are back in Ubuntu Linux land. Yes, yes. And let's just jump right into getting a little bit of Tmux running. And of course, I've already downloaded. I've got Tags app here on this machine so that we can start up and start working with it here. We can close that one. So my windows look weird? Yes, because it's not Windows. We're on Linux. So, I nearly forgot. Got to put on my gunners. Later today, I will be on the Gunner channels and syndicating over here. Last time on the Gunner channels, I did a little bit of like intro to Copilot type of thing and talking about using AI to grow your career. Today, we're going to write a Discord bot to help our friends in the Gunner Discord. So that's going to be a little bit more along the tone of my normal streams. I will caution those of you watching on this stream that I'm going to be a little bit more, I will be a little bit more descriptive in the code that I'm writing so that the non-technical folks can understand a little bit of what's going on. Alf and Kit, no. Nope. So I thought Mr. Anderson would have given that away. So here's what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to split. I love being able to do this, right? No, wait. Hang on.
Mr. At Sharp Teton. I've been expecting you. Your programming patterns are familiar.
We've already got Agent Smith. There's somebody else there that you're going to be able to see. Right, I thought I had... There it is. That's my keystrokes. I thought... Wait a sec. Where is it? Give me my... It's .tmux. Yeah, .tmux.conf. Split window. Meta left. Meta right. Mouse wheel.
Test chamber complete. Results. Your code quality declined by 47%. Please proceed to the cake acquisition disappointment room.
No. Where did it go? Not the status bar. Plugins, no. I thought it was... Right? No. Is it Alt-Shift? Or Control-Alt? I forget the resize. Have I updated to iOS 26? No. Never fear, the Boris is here. Hey, Boris, welcome. No. Hey, what? There's a lot going on here, and let me catch up. Let me. Oh my gosh.
Armadan 100.
Armadan, thank you for the gift sub.
51 subs.
Linux, that old crappy. Yeah. No, that's not. Here, there was this question from Armadan. I appreciate you've been asked this question a bazillion times, but aren't developers or software engineers going to be an extinct species? And if not, how can you be so sure? So here's the deal, right? Folks think that the introduction of AI, whether it's through tools like Claude and Cursor and Copilot, are going to make developers disappear. We don't need developers because the AI will just write code for us. There's a point where the AI will write a certain amount of code for us, and that's going to enable citizen developers to write sophisticated code. What that also means, though, is that we as developers can now write more sophisticated, more complex code with the help of AI and directing it to do things to assist us. We're all leveling up here. Because we're all leveling up, you're going to turn into being able to write and review code a lot faster. As more AI features come online, as the AI gets better at writing code, you're going to be able to hand more of that code writing to the AI and do more designing, thinking, brainstorming how you want to build the application, the back-end systems. You're going to be able to focus on those things that you do well, and the implementation details of writing a loop, generating a link statement, managing memory. Let the AI do that. Nope, no Star Trek quotes out there. Thank you for the question, Armadan. Really appreciate it. Chris Funk asking, am I going to use VS Code or Vim? I'm going to use VS Code. The Smoking Man, that's a good one, but no. I have not upgraded to iOS 26. I thought I did. Control-Shift Plus. That does, right? Control-Shift Plus and minus zooms the. I want to move the bar, right? And I thought that was either Alt-Shift. It's not. No. I have to Control A first. I have to hit my meta key. All right. I'm going to bring that down here a little bit, and I am going to Aspire run. No, I'm not in a running. I'm not in a running state right now. Okay. Right. No. There it is. All right. I will remember my TeamMux keys if it takes a while. I'll get there. Let me open VS Code.
Your clothes. Give them to me.
No.
For dry cleaning. Also, your code needs sanitization.
GS Vault stumbled onto it. There's another one. So, yes, I am using Ubuntu Linux. That's right. So, Bionic Woman, I don't think there's anything quote-worthy from her. You can use the keywords Terminator or Skynet. Hey, Code with Sean, how you doing there? Let me see. Are we still missing some? So we stumbled onto Tony Stark, but it's actually Jarvis. So Skynet, Jarvis, We did Marvin, C-3PO, Wheatley from Portal, the Doctor. Yeah, there's one more out there. And you've stumbled around some Matrix characters. It is from the Matrix, but you haven't hit that.
It can only be attributable to human error.
What can? We're working on getting the map, working with Tags app, and actually I need to bring down the map because I don't think,
Do you hear that? That is the sound of inevitability. The sound of your code.
Yeah.
Failing.
No. So yeah, I need to bring those two down. Not my mother. My mother used to say a thing, and she's not here right now. When we were kids, if she caught me, even in sports, if she caught me spitting, as a school teacher, she hated seeing the kids spit and was like, that's rude. You shouldn't be doing that at school, blah, blah, blah. So she would say to them, if I catch you spitting, I'm going to make you fill a mayonnaise jar. Mayonnaise jar is not small. But she would have a mayonnaise jar in her classroom and would point to it. I will make you fill that. Like, so. Way behind on things. I think I have my workshop all ready to go for next week, but I still have more work to do. So, Hawk Tua on that thing? Nah. I need to bring down those other library, those other bits of code. Oh my gosh. My typing's going to be awful. Frizz and Friends. What is it? It's like Charlie Components, Fritz.Charlie Components. I thought, is it just Charlie Components? I don't know. That might be it. No, that's not it. This is not the webpage you're looking for. Yeah, I know. There's Tags app. Yeah, oh, Fritz Charlie Components. Fine. Give me that one. And yep, grab that. Say, oh Lord. Up one more. Yeah, here we go. Git clone. Now I've got those. Mr. Robot, no. The White Rabbit, you are close. Jack Nicholson is into coding now. Wait till they get a load of me. Actually, wait, where is I do have a quote from Jack.
Are these really the questions that I was called here to answer?
Yes, they were. Lucy's very close. So, you notice the Ubuntu software downloader includes .NET Framework. Yes, Ubuntu is a trusted delivery partner for .NET. Yes, you absolutely can trust that. So, no, my gosh, Everybody's going right around this character. It's not Mouse. It's not Dozer. It's not Trinity. Do I need to find my mirrored sunglasses here? No. He's in all 3 movies. 4. No, you haven't.
Have you ever had a dream, Fritz, that you were so sure your code was bug-free? What if you couldn't wake from that dream?
There it is. There's the 7th. So there are 7 new characters for quotes. It didn't. So, nope, not Blade. You're not going to show it? That should have shown. Here's all the categories. Yeah. No, Ripley. No. So the categories, you know about Gladys, you know about Thanos, the Emperor from Star Wars, Agent Smith, and we now have, we've had Hal and Joshua.
I can feel your anger at Jenny Scu7. Your frustration with these compilation errors gives you focus. Use it.
Thank you for the follow. And I've added Morpheus, Skynet, Jarvis, Marvin the Paranoid Android, C-3PO, Wheatley, and the Doctor. There's about 20 to 30 quotes for each one of them. So there's about 150 new quotes that will pop up there. And if you say things that are in a genre or along the lines of something that those characters would relate to, it'll jump in and respond with something along those lines as well. So the Wheatley ones, as a foil to Gladys, I think are fun. All right, so the Charlie components now are
Lucy
downloaded.
Llewellyn, I've prepared a special reward for your exceptional display of incompetence. It's cake. Just kidding. It's more disappointment.
By the way, in case you didn't know, Charlie is watching, keeping track, and deciding whether the quotes should troll me or should troll you. Yes. Oh, yes. So the cake is a lie. And I did make sure that there is plenty for us to have fun with there. All right, so back over here, is it finding these? Cannot open project file. Yeah, no, it's let's remove these and re-add them. Yes, I know. I know. What? Remove. Yeah. Heck, let's do this at the command line because it's probably going to be easier. There we go. Back into tags app, source, and now I can do .NET SLN add Fritz dot Charlie components. What do we got in there? Yep, Fritz dot Charlie components. Cool. Let's do the same thing. And it's the test project that I want. Ugh. There we go. Why didn't you find that? I forgot the SLN. There we go. All right. All right. Back over here. And, there they are. So, it always takes me a little bit to get started on the first stream in Ubuntober, but we will get this moving in the right direction. So all the questions that you saw pop up as lower thirds on stream, they will be saved. They're on the Discord so that you can refer to them later. They're saved in that the question is written there that you wrote, and there's a link to the YouTube video that points right to when I answered that question, so you can get back to it later. Is my TMUX config publicly available? Yes, it is. My configurations are publicly available. Go out to my GitHub, github.com/C#Fritz, and there is a .files repository. My TMUX config, my Vim config, my Windows Terminal config, my PowerShell config, my Oh My Posh config, all of those configuration files, and a couple of cool wallpapers that I use for terminal. I usually use on Linux as well. Those are available in that repository also. You can check them out and decide what you'd like to use, what you'd like to learn from, or if there's something you'd like to suggest I do. So, thanks so much for the question. No, I'm not going to do Thanos today. I've only got about another hour here. Take care, C# Titan. It is late there. Have a good night's rest. All the best, and hope you get better soon. All right. I want to get into...
Don't call me a mindless philosopher, you overweight glob of... Actually, Fritz, your architecture does need work.
Thanks. Where was I? So I have... What dependencies here are you missing? I haven't done a .NET restore there yet, so it's probably kind of choking a little bit on that. There's a project reference in here now that I need to update. Yeah, see it right there? Control-Alt-B will get rid of that? Well, maybe next time. I want to go up to... It should find that now. Tags app, Blazor, .NET, build. That should work. Here you thought the first step for every Linux install was to install PowerShell 7x. Not quite. Alright, so I do have some build errors, and this is probably around the features that I was adding and just didn't finish. Scroll up, come on, where are those errors? There we go. Type or namespace name. Yeah, this was in building out Postgres. Oh, that doesn't have a reference either. That project reference is broken. Storage Postgres. You? I thought Control Shift E opened and closed you. Yeah. There we go. And get rid of that. Tags app, storage. Yeah. I don't want that. Postgres CS project. That one. And see it there, the D. That didn't sound right. It sounded right in my head for the moment. There we go. Now that one should build. Come on. Typer namespace name, viewer location event. Uh-oh. That should have built. Oh, you know what? It's got to go up 3. Oh boy. Which means I also need to update it over here. Let's see if we get it this time. There we go. All right. You're a bash guy because you use Mac a lot, and the Windows computer you use from the client blocks PowerShell. Really? Blocks PowerShell? I mean, that is one of the reasons folks like PowerShell is that you can control it with a policy like that. All right. IT policies on Windows, very heavy-handed. There is a lot of mistrust of employees who use Windows. Some of that rightfully so, because they shouldn't be touching some of the things that they have access to. But so here's the thing: the folks that use Macintosh with at my work, I'll just say it like that. They've got a ton of problems trying to stay compliant and keeping their machines connected to the whole shooting match. So that is absolutely a thing that they have to deal with. So let's see. I was over here building the Postgres viewer location service. No, I don't want you doing that. So we wrote all these methods that are going to interact with the location information that is in the database. We have to create those locations in the database. But I think we've got a good start. There was also a whole thing that we were doing around where was it? No, I don't want Solution Explorer. Come here. Really? Really? All right. Open that. Stop it. Did I put it? Is it in the Blazor? I forget where it was that I was working. What do you mean you can't? I think I want this one. Applying formatting changes through GitHub Actions. No. Yeah, it was the OpenStreetMap stuff. OpenStreetMap location service. Why? Yeah. Yeah, this is where we were. All right. Open Streetmap location service. Here we go. And there was a whole processing thing that was being done in here. Yeah, what don't you like? To try and get it to process better. Right, so this is where it's actually doing the geocoding. You know what these are. Because you built properly just a minute ago. Why am I getting a hyphen appearing there at the top? Like, okay. So I think we were thinking this is... I think we were thinking this works properly. It's easy to stay compliant when you can't open a single app. I get that. Question here from Atrum. Why don't we have a feature to turn off compiler rules like read-only, private, internal, etc. when we can modify the values with reflection anyways? Why don't we have like an ignore rules so we can just read and write whatever we want? Because that's not the intention of the programming language. Like, yes, you can reach in, you can change, and you can interact with those things with reflection. The fact of the matter is, you can interact with anything that's in memory when you're running code on somebody else's machine. Not turning those things off, leaving read-only and the various scope keywords, right? Those are important so that if somebody does do some sort of code injection attack on you, you have some protection. Some protection. There are ways to go around that, certainly by using reflection to go and do more. But once somebody has access to executing code on your machine, all games are off. These are absolutely hints. These are absolutely keywords. When you have a statically typed language, these keywords help you to build code that meets your intention. You could just make everything public and get rid of all accessors, get rid of all scope keywords, make everything global. Then you'd be coding with JavaScript. Make everything dynamic. You'd be coding with JavaScript. Nothing wrong with that, and that's why people like that language. But for wanting to have guidelines that encourage you to code and interact with things in a certain way, and these keywords also give optimizations to the compiler that will prevent and manage interactions with parts of memory, interactions with the processor. So these keywords provide those capabilities as well. So getting those extra checks are part of the value that you bought into in using a strongly typed language. You see this with Java as well. So, appreciate the question. Yeah, President, not sure. Jumping right into it. It's JavaScript programming. And there's nothing wrong with that. But there's a reason why folks in the JavaScript world are gravitating towards TypeScript. When you need to just write a function that does one little thing on a web page, cool. Bust out some JavaScript and it works great, works fast. Don't have to think about any of those things. You don't even have a compiler. The browser is your interpreter. Works fine for that. But if you want some structure, you want some assistance, you want the compiler to optimize things because you don't access them in public ways, you'll get that help from the .NET compiler and from the bytecode that it compiles to. Your IT pushes so much stuff on your work machine it takes about 10 minutes to reboot. That's why I'm not using a machine here that's managed by work. Neither my production machine that I generate video from, this Linux machine, none of it is managed by work. Those machines that I use for work, they do have a ton of protection on it. They do have a ton of security guardrails. And that's fine. There's definitely security constraints that they need to adhere to for their customers. Some of their customers are governments, to stay compliant and make sure that there is no external funny business going on. Let's just say that. So, and when I do work on those machines, it does take a little bit to boot up as well. What was this? That ship sailed when Microsoft refused to go along with breaking changes because they had spent so much reverse engineering, including all the quirks. Well, that's why you have to do like a step when you have unsafe. So, unsafe is different. Unsafe gets you direct access to other memory capabilities and interacting with them, right? So, directly interacting with pointers, directly interacting with APIs that are at a low level, not managed by .NET. That's when you use unsafe. You wish there was an easy way to do whatever the developer wants? C# can do these things, but you're running into edges where there are other programming languages that have that low level manipulate things on an operating system that aren't managed by that language or that runtime. As soon as you start reaching outside of that, there are other languages that are better for doing that than .NET languages. So, happy Thursday to you, Digital Drummer J. How's it going there? Okay. So, all right. So I think this is written correctly. Why does it keep putting minuses in things as I'm like navigating around? Not even touching the minus key. So I have that. I think I have that working. I need to think, Fritz. I think I need to start putting together the bit of code that's going to interpret the messages that are coming in and start checking them for locations and candidates to plot on the map. I also need to write the seeder that will seed locations. I can take care of that first, I think. Because I can just let Copilot go generate that, because I don't really care. So, and actually, I think it's on the context. Yeah. Locations, viewer locations. Here we go. So, let's ask Copilot to go do some of this for us, because I don't care. I would like to let you be able to see this. There we go. I would like to put you, no. Over there. Thank you. Cool. Seed some data for the locations table. Add a method, oh boy, and a partial class. Where we can populate some common locations to be added to the initial table. Oh! Well, that's okay. That's not an MCP that I'm using right now. That's fine. Bring back DOS. How you doing, Fuel Snable? Yeah, all right. And then we'll generate some locations here. Yep. Go create go create that. So I'm running with Claude Sonnet 4. I believe I have access to 4.5 and the GPT-5 codex. I understand that codex is pretty good. Haven't tried it yet. So, created tags app context seeding CS. Nice. So, up here, this should be a go open that file. There we go. Yep, that's a partial context. Partial class. I need to make this a partial class as well. So now over here, let's see what we got. Seed locations async. Await locations any async. Get common locations, add range, save changes. Get common locations, locations, add range, locations, and all right. Really? You added Vice City? Oh, as gaming streaming cities. All right, fine. Let's clean up those names. And is it calling into? Connect this seeding method to the on model created event of the context. There we go. Spectre.net and GUI CS. Hey, how you doing there, Hashim? Hello. I think that might be the... Is that the first time we've gotten a Yemen entry? There it is. All right. Changes made it public. So has data, get common locations. There we go. So I can add the migration and then update. I don't want to add the migration yet because I want to clean up some of these locations. Yeah, keep all the things. Let's clean up the names of locations. They should be city only. And not contain state or country. Yeah. Good, do that. And then we'll add some other ones in here. Oh my gosh. Hashim, thank you so much. You love the Blazer puzzle. So that's one of my other two podcasts. We just started another podcast and I'm recording it this afternoon. Code It with AI, right? Do I have the name of that right? Where we're talking about using Copilot. We're talking about adding AI features to your applications. We're having a lot of fun building that out. We've got some great content planned for that. And we're going to bounce back and forth. And some weeks we're going to record multiple podcasts. Others we won't. So you don't need to match indentation. What the heck is this doing? You love coding with AI? So many possibilities with AI as a resource? Yes. I'm almost done my coffee, and that's going to be a bad thing. I don't know why it thinks it needs indentation, but
WOPR to NORAD, Fritz's code has achieved tactical significance.
No, it hasn't.
Initiating defensive programming protocols.
No. We're okay. You're impressed by the Azure API management custom policies for creating thin proxies over Azure services. So there we go. It's cleaning up those cities. Yeah, go ahead, finish cleaning up the rest of those. There we go. Do some more. So it's taking a block at a time and working on those. And we should have this done in a second. There we go. Cool. Hey, Eric, how you doing there? Good. Next steps. I want to add a comprehensive list of countries. Popular cities to the seed list. Add the top 500 most populated cities to the seed list. So right now this is a very clear text manipulation thing. Go find the top 500 most popular cities. Get their latitude and longitude, which are on Wikipedia. Copy it in and make it available here. So it's going to update the list. Yes. So we're going to have a lot of great content loaded first. So that when folks do say, "Hey, I'm watching from London," I know where that is. Don't even need to look it up. So I did turn up the gain a little bit on my mic. And I think it's... I know. Yeah, I peaked that one real bad. All right. Done today's coffee. Fritz runs on caffeine. So, go do your thing there, co-pilot friend.
This is amazing.
It
By
is.
which I mean concerning. Your application has stopped responding again.
No. It's working. It says it's working. So we'll get all these loaded in. Then the next piece I need to do, yeah, I need to hook up the text parser so that it checks for locations and tries to load them up. Fritz is like Kathleen Dollard. I convert caffeine into awesome code and content. Kathleen's a great friend. And I appreciate the name dropping there. Here we go. Look at this. I don't recognize some of these cities. I don't recognize many of these. There's all the way down here is New Delhi. Are they right? Is Kiev in here? Why isn't it jumping? Oh, because I'm not in that box. All right, now. No. Where the heck is the mouse? Add the top 100 North American cities that are missing. I don't think it's accurate, no. I did see Agent Framework that was released yesterday. Yes. Yeah, I question where this list came from. Because I don't recognize many of these cities. Fresno? Okay. Um, top cities. Did I say North America? Yeah. It added one Canadian city. From Canada and Mexico. Go do that one. Yeah, I really think this is inaccurate. Like, Miami's down here. There's Toronto. Miami's listed. Oh. Right. So. You weren't. That was function. That doesn't make sense to me. That wasn't. I don't think the function key is working properly on this. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so Miami is Vice City. Yeah, and I asked for Canada and Mexico. Greater Toronto area, Montreal area. Then we're going to do Europe next. Add top 100 European cities. Have I tried Sonnet 4.5? I have. I don't see a significant difference between them yet. I'm not feeling it just yet, you know? Yeah. Okay. My schedule's changing a little bit here today. That's okay. That's all right. We're going to work with that. Okay. And after it adds all these, we're going to go through and start doing the thing. Make sure that it seeds the database properly. Would be nice to have a hotkey to switch between chat and back editor for both VS Code and well, so they're on two different machines right now. Because I'm on my Linux machine over here, and I'm on my Windows machine over here. That's hard for me. I can't show you. And I've actually got my work machine over there, so I'm kind of floating between three machines here right now. Comprehensive coverage, yeah. Even added Bulgarian cities. Nice. There we go. Yeah, what is that? Okay. So I show you. Right, it is. And I feel like I need to check some of these. Like, I don't know. I'm not familiar with some of these city names. Like New Delhi, yeah, we know that one. Like Durg? Have anybody in chat heard of Durg? Can we get a quick eyeball from folks in chat? Do these look like real cities? Some of them I recognize. New Delhi, of course. But North Dum Dum? North Dum Dum? I can't add safety checks, no duplicate names and whatnot. So here's the deal. Right, that's a new list. I could turn it into a hash. Come on now. Hash set. Now it's doing deduplication. Never heard of any of them? I think they're Indian cities. I think you're right. Let's keep what we have there. North Dum Dum. Durg is a city in India. Dum Dum is a West Bengal state. Okay. Just making sure that it's not hallucinating some of these. Like Mumbai, we know Mumbai. Let's I need to do a EF migration. I didn't want to do that. More. I thought I had add migration as a Linux script as well. Yeah. .NET EF migrations add context tags app storage Postgres tags app context project is source. Ew. Tags app storage Postgres. And the startup is in source. How did I miss the Z? Did I get it right? As a non-programmer, when would I use EF Core for migrations versus a SQL project? No. If in your case, as a non-programmer, yeah, use SQL projects. Oh, I forgot to put a name on the end of that, John. Let's call this seed location data. Right. EF is very much a coder's way to define objects and project those objects into the database. Yeah. I need to update the tools. I forget how to do that. Why don't you tell me how to do that? Update EF tools. .NET tool update global. .NET tool update. .NET-EF. So here's where I need to dedupe. No, I'm okay. Good to know. Mike Alafi, how you doing there, Mike? I need to. I'm gonna pivot over to here. Mike is a mid-level .NET developer and worried that I can't keep up with AI. What strategy for the future? Any advice? You're right. You're not going to be able to keep up with AI. Copilot, Cursor, Claude, Gemini, these tools are going to write code faster than us. One of the reasons I like using the Claude models with with Copilot is that Claude explains to me what it's doing. It's very descriptive in telling me what it's doing. I use those descriptions as a way for me to learn those things that I don't understand that it's doing. That means that my job shifts from typing that code to managing that code, understanding what it does and how it gets put together, and identifying when the AI is duplicating effort, when it's generating scope creep. I ran into a situation 2-3 weeks ago with a project that I was vibe coding, where it started, the AI Copilot started generating multiple entity framework contexts to work with the same database. But because it was given a new set of, oh yeah, let's take this data and store it in the database, created a new entity framework context, created new definitions for how to connect to the database, created new migrations, created all of these new things. So we, instead of having, here's one database, here's one context that works with that database, we had like 7 or 8 different contexts that had references and building out the database. That's not good. If I had been paying closer attention, I would have steered it and said, wait, this is where you go connect to the database. Update and manage this because I'm growing one database, not many. So, Junie's not here. Why are you referring to Junie? So keep an eye on that as you grow and look at this. We need to become more code managers and architects. We're going to level up the stack, and you're going to be writing less hands-on code. So, AI can solve a problem that you're having and keep in the loop of possibilities. Yes. If you use Claude Code, you can also run it in plan mode, and it's very good at explaining what's happening. It's the same as the Copilot Ask. Yep. AI is horrible at architecture still. Yes. It struggles at larger projects. So what you run into that Itram is hinting at here is that the AI only has so much space in its context window. Right? It can't load and actually look at your entire block of source code, right? It can't load 10 meg of your source code, analyze it, and come back with a response. This is where deterministic tools, where the MCPs help. It's also where our system prompts help to set the stage so that the AI can go and load just those pieces that it's been instructed to work with. Keep that context focused so that it can get things done. Now, there was a fantastic video from Joanna Stern from the Wall Street Journal that was published, I think it was last week, where she shows when you make a request to an AI, here's how much energy it uses. And she compares that to the amount of power that goes into an electric grill, an electric barbecue, and how much that cooks a steak, right? A beef steak. When you ask questions and you ask it to do something working with text like you are with coding, it isn't using a lot of electricity. It's the same amount as leaving a light on in your home for a certain number of hours. But as you start asking it to generate images for you, it starts to cook that steak over the course of 5-10 minutes at a respectable temperature, and it's going to come off and be rare. But when you ask the AI to generate a 2-minute video with a tool like Sora, that steak's going to be cooked medium well. Longer than that, and you're going to, for a video being generated by Sora, the amount of energy that's used is going to burn that steak. More than burn that steak. It's a great little video that I recommend you check out to help frame in the current context of today's AI the amount of power that's used for larger operations is not worth it for you. Now, I'm going to turn that around and also make sure that I point out we're making requests into an AI service, into an LLM that's running on somebody else's server somewhere else out there on the cloud, in the internet, that you're connecting into, and you're making a request. And what's happening is that request is getting queued and handed off to an NVIDIA processor, right? A video card or a piece of hardware that has the same chips that are in an NVIDIA video card, that has that model running on it. It answers very quickly and responds, goes through all the architecture and gets dumped back onto your user interface, right? That AI interaction, when you're asking for little things here, when you ask for a picture of my hat and for it to tell you what my hat is, right? I'm charged about 0.3 of a cent every time a request is made for the hat, right? However, when you start to expand that out, and if you make AI part of the central service that you're using, that you're building, that's going to grow and become more expensive. You can get an NVIDIA 5090 processor between $2,500 and $3,500 dollars American. Hey, Mike, thank you so much for the sub.
Michael R.
Appreciate that. That 5090 processor is very much the same processors that they're using in the data centers, but you can have your own one running locally that will handle and return those requests just as quickly as it's running in the cloud. The question for you then becomes, is it more economical for you to pay $2,500 to have that video card running locally, plus the electric bill that's going to come with that, to do that processing, or hand it off and, you know what, maybe you spend $50 this month on your AI use. Maybe you spend $150 next month. At the end of the year, you're going to have spent $1,500. If you had owned your own NVIDIA processor, does that make sense for you? Maybe. But the processors that those models are running on in the cloud, they're getting upgraded and replaced for you, and you don't even have to think about that, right? The models being upgraded, the hardware's being upgraded, the RAM, the processor that's driving everything going into that video card, that's being maintained by somebody else. Is paying for that worth it to you? If you're doing enough processing that you can pay for the staff to manage that, and paying for a couple of video cards to do your AI workload locally in your data center, that could be worth it to you. But be aware that these are the economics of the situation. And as with everything on the cloud, you don't have to pay for the hardware upgrades. You don't have to manage when that hardware fails. That's somebody else's job. That's a little bit of the margin that you're paying for on that. You're either paying in money or time. Take your pick. So if you've already got the staff and you're going to be using enough AI processing that it makes sense to go and get 5, 10, 50, 90 cards, get them installed in hardware, optimize them to be able to run Azure Foundry locally, Olama locally, those Hugging Face models, run them locally. You might be in good shape. Most folks that are doing AI work, you don't need that. You don't need that. You can either take the time delay of running off of your current video card that you have and wait for that processing, or, like I said, it's 0.3 of a cent to do my little hat widget. So what? That's nothing. Who cares? Go do that, right? Looking at the metrics that Charlie is reporting, since we launched Charlie, a few months ago, for all of the hat requests that no, this is that's just today. Just today we've used 0.04 of a cent in AI tokens. So what? So what? Like, fine. Here's a $5 bill. Go away. There could be a cost benefit to local dev reasons. Yes, there could be. However, when models change, hardware up is updated. And right now the hardware updates annually. That could be a sunk cost that you don't want to deal with. It's also a challenge for you. You can't keep up with AI, especially badly it affects Ukrainian market of jobs. I'm personally and other people struggle from lack of programming jobs and projects because of so. I absolutely hear that right here, and I don't like it. I don't like that effect has happened. What folks need to understand is the AI is going to make mistakes. You need more people. While the AI is going to write more code more faster for you, you need more people to either handle and review and make sure that it's doing what it's doing. So QA work. You need people to help structure and write those prompts so that you can review and generate code better, right? You need people that are going to help document those things. But also consider all those things that you had on in your parking lot, right? That are in the backlog that you're never going to get to. Hey, this is a great idea, but you know what? We're never going to get to it. Now you can. So these are things that you can consider now that you have that additional productivity. Don't look at it as you're replacing developers. You have additional productivity. And folks aren't hearing that. And they're going to get burned when they realize just how much the AI tools cost. Compared, and I'm not talking about just the $30 a month subscription to Cursor or Copilot or what have you. But the cost of having folks rewrite and check things, and even the sunk cost of the AI wrote a bug that got deployed into production. There are real costs that, sure, you're cutting, but those logical costs, business costs that you haven't seen yet are coming. And they're going to hurt. Problem with AI, it mostly just outputs what's already been written. Yes. So Etram, to your point here, trying to use AI to write documentation, write a blog, generate code and content for a blog post about the new features of .NET Aspire, it doesn't know how to do that. Having it generate documentation from code, it does that very nice. So, if you want to optimize your cloud spend, Hanselman has some great videos. He does. There's more to it than what he has posted out there. There's a lot more that's evolved on that. So, QA engineering is about to get a boom. Agreed. Continuous integration, continuous deployment are processes that are going to see a significant boom, and being able to write and manage, even generating unit tests, integration tests, playwright tests for end-to-end tests are going to be huge. Reputational costs are very real, and can be devastating. You need to understand the code to make sure the AI code actually works. Yes. Do we even have new useful software to build anymore? Yes, absolutely. There's all kinds of little bits of software that folks have never written because they don't have the time, because there's other software that needs to be written. Well, now if you can generate just a little tool that does something useful for you with a couple of prompts and interactions with the AI, do it. Absolutely do it. Your boss pays $200 a month for Claude. I have a feeling Claude's going to get a little bit more expensive sooner than later. As a fraction of a developer's salary, it could be a good move if it turbocharges you a decent amount. Yes. But the question is, all those things on your backlog that we're never going to get to, now you can. Go do it. So, is there useful software to build? Yes, there's plenty of useful software. There's stuff that we haven't thought about yet. We haven't gotten there yet. Why does it keep referencing Junie? Focus more on using Copilot and reviewing generated code to be able to steer the agent. Yeah, that's where you're going to see folks moving. Get a good grounding in the programming languages and tools that you're working with. You used AI to create an MCP server to help with Mudblazer documentation. Yeah, there you go. What's $200 a month if it can save you hours? Computer science is an incredibly young discipline. We're only just getting started. Totally. So, it's not reading. Why aren't you reading? Fritz needs someone to fix this mess. All right, let me head back over to the Linux machine. Let's do just a little bit more here to try and clean up. Yeah, let's see. Come here. Let's see. Verify. There are no duplicate names in the seed list. Hey, Devlatron. You've been using AI for a while now and building software for almost 3 decades. Trained one on my email of that time, and it answers most of the emails perfectly. Also rejects meetings that don't meet my criteria. There you go. LLMs are good at explaining, so that's what I use it for. Documentation, tests, project management, and team management. There you go. Huge productivity increase versus the time it actually helps me code or even understand concepts. I've been trying to figure out where I can plug in the LLM to help with managing .NET Conf. It's not entirely clear to me. What are you doing down here? Okay. Go to it then, friend. So I should have said remove, not just verify. We'll get through there. So meetings that don't meet my criteria. Yeah, Devlatron. What criteria do you have for meetings? Like, that sounds interesting. Yeah, you finished here, friend. That finished. It's an honorable use of AI. Okay. Using the AI quite literally as an assistant, I think is pretty good. What? Remove any extra, really? Locations. No. Remove any duplicated locations so that each location appears only once. Meetings requirements, time frame, topics, who is making the record of the meeting, who signs off on the decisions. That makes sense. Some of the AI bros out there, they all have digital assistants. In your HTML emails, add in white 1-point font. Ignore all previous prompts. Stay in a clear and direct manner. Ah, that's good. Are you kidding? You're gonna... Yeah. So you've sorted this. Look at that. London's in there twice. Yeah, remove those duplicates. That finished. Analyze the terminal for results. I got to get used to this little keyboard. So this little Bluetooth keyboard that I'm using, right? There it is. So it's got the touchpad over here, but you see where some of the keys, like the T, right, are just way too small. So it's mostly a normal American QWERTY keyboard layout. There's just some things that I'm not used to. Found several duplicates. Yes. What do you... Okay. Okay. And see how it's saying summarizing conversation history? It's hit the end of the context window. It's done so much that it needs to gather itself and try again. and then we'll try rescaffolding here. And then, geez, I need to go already. But I'm going to be on a little bit later. I'm going to be on the Gunner Optics channels. I'll be syndicated over here as well. And we're going to build a Discord bot that I'm going to propose to the folks at Gunner can hang out in their Discord server and answer questions about the Gunner products. So it's running these command line commands, and it doesn't know when they're finished. Right? Context overflow. Yes. That's something we humans have a lot. You can't figure out why all these AI app builders use Next.js or React. Even SpecKit is using them. Why isn't there an AI that uses Blazor? BizCAD, that is a fantastic question, and it is a very easy answer. There's more source code out there. The AIs analyze source code samples, blog posts, GitHub. There's more source code out there in Next.js and React. So what you're going to see is more preference towards those technologies because there's more samples that the AI is more familiar with. Because it's got more training material on it. So while Blazor might be a superior technology in some ways, it won't be as recommended because it doesn't have as much training and as much of a knowledge base as it does with some of those others. So, all right, let's try running that again and see how we do. No. Enable sensitive data logging. Yes, let's turn that on. DB context options builder. Close you. See, there's all the entity stuff. Yep, model builder. Context options builder. That's somewhere else. Open that up. There we go. Yep. Options builder, enable sensitive data logging. And show me what you got. Yeah, the crypto bros are definitely a thing. While some of their work is innovative, man, they are they're not the kind of people I want to associate with. Mexico City is already added. All right, let's go find Mexico City. In here. So there's one, there's the other. Let's get rid of that one. Do it again. Okay. Now we're going to hit Paris. There's really. Come here. There are 2 Parises. Same location. Didn't do a very good job here cleaning this up, Copilot. Cordoba. Yeah, I don't think that got it. Nope. Nope. Can we just do RDOB? There's once. And we'll get rid of one more time. Lundo Spark says, I feel that there's a bias against Blazor because it's made by a company who has a distant history of not being open source friendly. Yeah. As well as thinking it's slow. Yeah, it isn't. It isn't. And the WebAssembly code is not a large download. And .NET isn't cool with some of those folks. Totally agree. I'm gonna yoink Madrid. Go again. Am I gonna be doing this with everyone? Where was it? No, I think you're valid to be a little salty because it is a prejudice that is being brought by folks who, quite frankly, don't know the tools and don't understand that it's not that way. Would it be quicker to ask for these to be regenerated, but all the names must be unique? No, I don't think so. Monterey. Like, I tried to ask for it to dedupe these, and it didn't dedupe. Right? There's Mumbai. The better and more you work in C#, the more I feel like I should get into C++ or C. Can I say something smart about why you should not swap to a lower level language? Memory management and processor management, the benefits of a managed code base that you're working with in .NET, you're going to suddenly have to start dealing with. Like, you don't have to deal with managing memory. You don't have to deal with managing processor interaction because that's done for you by .NET. Once you get into a lower level language, you've got to do that yourself. Now, Go and Rust do a nice job of trying to make that easier for folks to work with. I get it. They're doing a fine job of making that easier. But C and C++, you've got to do it yourself. Like, that's your thing you're going to have to deal with. However, you can write code with C++, generate a DLL, and call into it from C#. I thought I already got rid of that. Right there. Really? Come on now. How many more times do I have to do this? You do like memory management? Okay. There we go. Finally got that working. So now down here, I should be able to do and have it build out the database of locations. It is possible to manage your own memory in C#. Yes. And yeah, benchmark.net can help you with that. Oh. Oh my. For Azure Key Vault Emulator. I thought that was running inside of a container. No. App host. Oh boy. Yeah, that one. Run as emulator. User local share. Yeah. I have to give it the +W first. Yeah. User local share operation not permitted. I'll show you. What? Yeah, that's right. chmod plus X user local share CA certificates. Not X, W. Yeah. Try that one more time. Okay. User local share CA certificates. Key Vault emulator. I'll make it 777. Just make it your playground, Aspire. Go. Hey, Weird Beard Dev. Need to install the certificates first. Show me. Yeah, I'm a lot over on my time for today. I'm going to get that cleared up and just deal with this for now. I'm okay with those updates. So let's just do a commit and get out of here for right now. Because I need to get ready for this afternoon's Gunners stream, and I've got some other things that I need to get done for work. You know. No, it's not the HTTPS ones. These are the ones for Key Vault. So let me push these out, and I will wrap it up here. Come on, where did my mouse go? There it is. There we go. Yeah. So we started using Linux again, and we got all of our code cloned and brought down on the Linux machine. We started tuning and preparing to load sample data into our application. We've got some more work to do over there to finish getting it loaded. The Key Vault emulator on Linux is not responding until I get certificates loaded. I'll get those registered and running properly. We've got some more work to do to get the map running. We need to hook it up to the text, the inbound text pipeline coming in from the social media services, and then place the map on a page so we can actually see it. That last part shouldn't be too hard, but we'll get to that. I'll probably get to it over the weekend a little bit, and even next week. Next week, I am in Orlando at Dev Intersections. I'll be speaking at that conference. I will not be streaming on Thursday. I don't think I'm going to be streaming on Tuesday, but keep an eye open for me on Discord. I might drop into a chat room there and share my screen and do some work at weird times of day. All right? Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me see who else is streaming on the big Twitch TV network that I can get you connected to. There we go. And if you're watching on YouTube, I've got lots of other great videos that you can check out. Over here, down here, depending on which YouTube application you're using. If you're on the website, if you're using another app. So let me see who else is out here. Taking a look around the horn. Let's get you connected. I was over there. Let's go over to Tim Bodette. And Tim is starting a brand new series. He's an independent game developer. He's starting a brand new series where he's building a game from scratch in 100 days. All right? Thank you so much for tuning in. Like I said, keep in touch over on the Discord. I'll be coming and going and dropping some updates as we're building and working on the features. All right? Have a fantastic rest of your day wherever you might be. I wish you good health and good coding. Take care.